So, of course, I decided to do a stream today, try to squeeze a quick stream in, and then, another meeting. So, what I thought I'd do is go ahead and get the ball rolling anyway and say, looking for group for Mad Run Spiders. I am going to be running there from Orc Highway, and as soon as I'm done with this call, hopefully some grouping can happen. Where am I? Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, looking for group. Level 19 Necro. Looking for group. How are you guys doing today? Sorry. It is crazy right now. There's so much going on. So much good stuff. New Dev Diary today. Tons of conversation. Lots of good discussion. But we've got, there's just, the irons in the fire, my friends, are plentiful. Plentiful irons in plentiful fires. And it's fun. It's a very fun, energetic little season we're in here. So, I'm going to mess around here and get myself harmed. I did get a little more experience, as you can see. Get a little bit more experience on the way to 20. I picked up my level 20 spells. People say that it's hard to make money, like there's no economy right now, and I just am going to disagree. Like, I spent some time grinding specifically on things that I have been learning sell well, and I made some money today, guys. I went from 6 gold to now 16 gold. 16 gold, 52 silver, 54 copper. I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it. Picked up a couple, walnuts are freaking going like hotcakes. Meat going like hotcakes. So, even if you guys, if there are people who want to group up, like, feel free to get a group together and then I'll join it. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna make my way to the Mad Run area. We've got, oh man, we need, you know what I mean. Anyway, that's not, I'm not gonna go there right now. I don't want to spoil anything. But sorry, I'm kind of listening here. Got to do a little bit of mining. Also, you guys will be happy to know, I know many of you will be happy to know, that almost all of my gathering skills are maxed. Pretty happy about that. It seems like nobody is interested in Caspel, right? I have not seen anybody wanting to buy gems or like uncut gemstones or anything like that, so I don't even know why I'm looting those anymore, except to just... Actually, it's kind of a punk move to not loot the node, isn't it? I should go back and do that. The reason I'm talking so freely right now while I'm in a meeting on a call that I had to take is because I have already said my piece on the topic that we're discussing. I am kind of listening to them kind of chew on it with each other, and there's not anything I'm actively needing to contribute right now, and I'm taking it in. I'm going to delete the Ash Tannin. The Ash Tannin is probably one of those things where it's like, you should never delete Ash Tannin, you fool. There's been so many things like that where I've like realized, oh my gosh, I've been deleting this stuff or like selling this stuff, and you should never do that. Anyway, I'm gonna make my way to Mad Run. If you guys end up getting a group going, that's awesome. If not, as soon as I get off this call, then we'll group up. I'm gonna mute and just keep kind of making my way over there, and we'll get rolling. I am really close to 20. Bolt's only level 22, by the way. You're telling me at level 20 I can't take Bolt at level 22? Really? I don't know. Hold on. Get my chat like in a little better spot here so I can actually see what you guys are saying better. That one. Severe overcon. Bolt is horrible. Okay. Well, okay. Processing the Casper gives you something useful. Oh, good. Great. But to process Casper, I have to actually like train that, right? Like I have to actually do that. I have to learn how to smelt. I have to make a decision about smelting, right? Which is using one of my coins. I don't think I'm prepared to make that decision. I have gone so hard on gathering on this character. I feel like the decision I make on crafting is like sacrosanct. I feel like it has to be absolutely correct. No frittering around. Like it has to be locked in. Thomas Atreides says, fix the warrior. That is the first chat message I have read out loud today. Fix the warrior from Thomas Atreides. Thomas, are you the guy that commented on my YouTube video and just made the comment, fix the warrior? Was that you? This is funny, guys, because my phone is dying. Or about to die, so I've got it charging. Piloting with my left hand. This is how addicted I am to Pantheon right now. Do you understand? Do you understand me? Like, I am finding pockets of time where I can play the game. And I'm hunched over charging my phone so I can have this meeting that I need to be a part of while running with my left hand to where the group is forming, hopefully. To a group that I don't even know is forming. Of course, I got a mine. Ambidextrous. Ambidexterity. That was you, Thomas? Right on. Yeah, we got some... Warriors got some stuff, you know. They got some stuff coming. Multitasking. Let me just do some quick hellos while we're here. First of all, Ro, thank you so much for the Prime. My friend, I appreciate it. Fix the login. That's the main boss right now. The login is the main boss. Well, the Dark Agent, yeah, the Dark Agent is like... The Dark Agent is something that I was planning on trying to attack because he's like about to be my same level. What's going on, Olsen? Dayhawk. I wonder if there were actually 102 Dalmatians, but the other one was never spotted. Okay. I'm not encumbered. I'm going to keep him. Oh! Okay. That's fine. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Left-handed. We're good. No, I need that. Uh, uh, wolf tails. We're wolf tails are gone. Here we go. Butch Hunter, thank you so much for the tier 1, my friend. And the Rel as well with the Prime and the 8 months. Thank you for the 11 months, Butch Hunter. For all 3 of you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wonder what kind of like legends will be born from this moment for Pantheon. Like Pantheon's playable with your non-dominant hand while you're on a phone call. Mm-hmm. I just clicked my sprint mouse button with my ring finger on my non-dominant hand. Okay. Dark Agent will own me. He spawns mobs of that's enough said. Black Fox, good to see you. Kronzik as well. Tabix, Sir Polygon, Lowriser, Tumidin, Ginjan, Sinlytic, Velkinks, good to see you. Max Payne, Xscore, Jeff Affa, Dilbo Backskin, Hellgear, Lamsai, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Carrick, Quick Save. Just let me play. Good to see you. I know 3 times in 1 week. Woo! Briar, good to see you. Grats on the Teldators kill last night. Jaren, Nizdal, Forlorn Pita, Jaren 007. What's up, Forlorn? Good to see you, man. All right, I'm back for a second. We're here in Mad Run, ladies and gentlemen. We have traveled all the way to Mad Run. It's looking beautiful today. Looking crisp. This is such a interesting conversation. My brown armor is epic, I agree. What am I doing, guys? Why am I inching into here? I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered. Oh. I've got enough charge now. At least now I can get kind of a little more settled. All right, so is anybody looking for a group? I should really go and like bank, shouldn't I? Let's go bank. Storm Mona 0. Black Fox. Definitely longer than 14 months. Still enjoying these streams after all these months. That's awesome, man. I'm going to die. I'm dead. I ran by that stupid... Where's my pet? Come on, pet. Where's my pet? Oh, he's probably fighting the other one, yeah? I don't want to talk about it. It's the first time I've died to those wagon mobs, because I'm always, like, aware. Not this time. Well, you say that, Dosey. Did I die? I don't think I died yesterday. I did die. But yet I did die yesterday? Did I die yesterday? What did I die to? I don't remember dying. Let's go bank. Oh, chat, this conversation, sometimes when you're dealing with like game design discussions and decisions, I'm hearing some of the ways it's being chewed on, and I'm just like, this is so, sometimes it's just really difficult to land the plane, you know? Put it on speaker. We'll have a modified version of this discussion together here in just a second. Okay. So looking for group. Let's do it like this. Kane Strike, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate that. If you're just joining the stream, I had a call, a work call that popped up right as I was about to go live. That is actually pretty important. That I need to at least be kind of generally aware of. So I'm trying to at least get ourselves in a position here where we can get a Mad Run group going, hopefully. So if you guys are interested in doing the Mad Run Spiders and you're available and you're on Storm 1.0, where you can be on Storm 1.0, and you're around level 18, 19 to 22, 23, somewhere around in there, then please let us know. And actually, I'm going to disband the group. Quick save. Why don't you start the group, so that way if someone else becomes available and I'm distracted, you can add them. I need to mute again for a sec. Never mind. Okay, I'm muting you. This is the first level 20 pet I've summoned, by the way. Yeah, if you're just joining the stream, I am close to wrapping up a call here, and then we're locking in. We're getting a group formed for a Mad Run. Thank you guys, by the way, for being patient. Almost done. I'm going to follow Gadawar. All of you who are trying to read lips, you're all wrong. None of you have actually gotten it correct yet. And I'm disappointed. Yeah, the mustard one was the closest one. That was the mustard one was the closest. Okay, I gotta mute one more time. Yo, Thwal, thank you so much for the Prime. Thank you, man. And the 12 friggin' months of support. Thank you so much. Tumidin, I need bags. I'll buy bags. I've only got like vendor bought level 8 or 8 slot bags right now. And to be clear, I want to buy the bags for what they would actually cost. I don't want to be handed the bags. I would be interested in buying the bags. Cool little touch that I just remembered, by the way. This is the first level 20 pet that I've summoned. And look at that little guy. Look at that little guy right there. Woo. Woo. What should I do, chat? This is an honored group member. This is essentially the same as buffs, right? Like, I'm basically accepting buffs from a group member. Are we all good with me eating this food and drinking this drink? Thank you, Nizdal. I probably should have waited until we started, but all the same. Oh. Somebody is selling the boots of escape. I want those boots so bad. Guys, when we hit level 20, I want to camp Harathana so bad. I want to camp Harathana. Yo, Super Trash, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That's really, really cool, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And grats props. I promise, guys, we are literally wrapping up. By the way, lighting should be fixed and improved in the next patch, by the way. Hoorah! How so, meaning... Oh, we're going to Shard 1? Okay. How so being, like, right now, like, you see how there's no information in the shadows at night? That's the issue. And that was a change that was introduced last patch because of some fixes we made to shadows in the daytime that had some knockoff effects at certain times at night. But it's literally just this Vanta Black wall that's see you, buddy. We'll talk soon. David, I'm gonna drop as well. Chat! Hey! What's up? We're done! We're done! Hey, look who it is. The Dusk Fiend. The Dusk Fiend. Hey, what's up, Nicodemus? Good to see you. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Short notice today. Kind of a sneaky little extra stream. And then, you know, had that kind of call come in last minute. So apologize for taking a while there, but thanks for chilling. Thanks for staying. Thanks for being patient. Your character popped into the last stream. Zig the Paladin. Nice. Very cool. Let's get my pet buffed here. Very cool. So who do we got here? We've got 8 Hypnotic, Gadawar, Kuadar, and Nizdal. Very cool. Guys, thanks for getting this group together. Thanks for navigating that. It is much appreciated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lycandral Eye. Next stamina. Let me get it some eyes on this. Straight up, yeah, just straight up next stamina. I mean, which is the one that does, yeah, Putrefy. It's just Putrefy, right? Like everything else, this is what? Charisma. And I mean, stamina. Stamina? Pretty good. I think we should roll on it. I don't know. I'm gonna roll on it. Cool. Man, Dusk Fiend. Were we rolling on the neck or the key? Does the key... This could open something. Cool. Hey, we're just a couple minutes in, guys, and we've got an upgraded neck piece. Sick. Variable, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub and the 5 months of support. Stroby1 Kenobi as well with the tier 1 and the 2 months. You guys rock, thank you. I appreciate that. Very, very much. Ogre 2, predominantly focused on world lighting, yeah. And specifically, nighttime. The current nighttime issue with the shadows and just how dark it gets at night right now. Yep. Yep. Yeah, man, we seen you and had to scope you guys out. Loving the game. That's awesome, Ned. Very cool. Also, saw today, for what it's worth, the Lazy Peon did his yearly MMO tier list and put Pantheon in the positive category, which was cool. It was cool to see. Do we have a Silverwing bat purposefully, like, kind of following us around right now? Yeah. 2 games I'm excited as heck for going into next year. Wayward Realms. This and Wayward Realms. I have not heard of Wayward Realms. Wayward Realms. Let me actually slow these guys. I need to move my keys around again. Boom. And then, That's good. The Shriek AoEs are still doing that? Seriously? There's no bueno. No bueno. It's an upgrade from the nothing that you have right now. Hey, listen, the bird beak necklace is not nothing, okay? I was actually proud of that. I was proud of that. I don't think my pet needs to be taunting, so I will turn that off. I'll turn that off. It's like a modern day Daggerfall, all volunteers, a total passion project, just like how you guys started out. It looks great and you should check it out. Cool, I will. Yeah, I'd never heard of it. Wayward Realms. Wayward Realms. So, what did you guys think about the dev diary today? Any what has the conversation been? I mean, Galen, definitely our healers are more active than EQ healers, for sure. But they definitely do still have that element of, you know, needing to preserve and kind of manage your mana and sit and rest and things like that. Why are people crying about power leveling? Did we not sufficiently cover that you're not going to be able to like have a level 1 tag an NPC and then have a level 50 nuke it in a single hit and then the level 1 get the full experience for it? Didn't we cover that? No? Great. Good. Well, then let me say it and put it on blast here right now. So part of our FTE system will include checks and parameters on how much damage is done by someone who is not part of the kill credit group, is either not the kill credit individual or the kill credit group. And will adjust the experience that is rewarded accordingly. That dude just shattered himself all over me. Did you see that? Wow. Random question. When are the wizard spells going to return to regular price? Once we do the spring update. Now there is a time-based component as well. So there were two things that are important to mention with the system. Number one is the idea that even after you've gotten the initial tag, there is going to be an element of upkeep where essentially you are going to have to do some damage to the NPC within a certain amount of time in order to keep that ownership. Now that I imagine that amount of time being pretty loose, like, something like a minute or two, because the main point of that is to not be able to grief an NPC too much, or grief too much by just holding an NPC hostage and, circling it around until people show up, or intentionally like withhold an NPC from someone. So expect that to be a relatively adjusted, number until we really dial it in. But that's the one thing, is we want to make sure that there's some element of you're actually engaging with the target that you have tagged in a reasonable amount of time, or else you'll give up ownership. That's number one. Well, no, and so here's another piece of that. It's not, we're handling tagging through a single damage event. You do a point of damage, you do 10 damage, 100 damage, whatever it is, you tag it. The upkeep is going to be different. The upkeep will be more like a percentage of the target's health within a period of time. So you're not going to be able to just plink it for 1 damage, every so often. It's going to, it's going to need to be an amount of health that represents the fact that you're actually engaging with it meaningfully. And that's why I say, like, we'll need to kind of that's why the public test realm will be really important, because we'll be able to kind of adjust that and feel that out and figure out what's good, because we want to avoid what we're trying to avoid, but then at the same time we don't want to gut, things like kiting. And I mean, I'm super excited to get fear because I'm really excited to see what I can do with that, and I don't want to like not be able to have that freedom in engaging with an NPC because this mechanic is like shutting it down. So it needs to be loose enough, if you will, to allow for that, but still avoiding the most grievous bad actors, as it were. Yes, it will come down to General Grievous to be the deciding factor. And then the second one is, and I'm disappointed that if that wasn't clear about the level 1, level 50 situation. Oh, it was clear. Well, you know what? Why don't we just read it? Let's just read it together. How about that? And we'll see in real time here which things were clear or not. Let's get this fight done, and then, oh my sweet Christmas morning. We got some friends. I could act. Hey, watch this. It's not on my bar. Is your implementation going to allow others to help kill a mob that's not theirs, making PL a joke, or not allow others to help kill a mob so you are no longer able to help out other than about others that are running in panic from things killing them? No, it's not. I mean, you can help out as much as you want. It's just it's going to affect how much experience the person gets from the kill. It's not like encounter locking or anything like that, where suddenly you can't interact with the NPC at all. I struggle with that. I'm not a big fan. But no, I mean, just this is just more like, if you want to help somebody kill something and you're not in their group, you just attack it, and you're not going to get kill credit for it. Like, you're not going to be able to loot it. But the person that kills it isn't going to get a mountain of experience without putting in the work. I mean, technically, yes, you could. Yes, you could. Instead of stealing the kill from them completely, you could minimize how much experience they would get by competing with them on the target. But I mean, that's, if it's something where you're doing it on purpose, like if somebody wins the tag, right? because the point is about the tagging being the thing that's decisive. In most damage done, the two people attack the same target at the same time, and they're both intent on getting the kill. They're both going to go all out to try and get the kill. And then the kill credit determines, okay, who actually did it. With first to engage, that's determined in the beginning. So if you lose the tag, and this is why I was talking yesterday about the variable respawn rate. Even if it's a slightly variable respawn rate, it's going to help quite a bit with, like, you know, balancing out, like, the quickest of the draw or whatever. Because if you know something's going to respawn every 15 minutes on the dot, that's a very different thing than there being kind of a 30-second up or down variation or something like that. Or even a 10-second up or down variation. You know, as long as there's some variation. And yeah, at the end of the day, there is no perfect system. This also is not the same as like a, you know, having like a play nice policy or some kind of a formal, you know, stance on camps or griefing or kill stealing or things like that, which, you know, this article did not answer. That's something that I have submitted my recommendation and my take on what I think our stated kind of play nice policy should be. I feel like we should probably have one. That's how I feel personally. It's not a decision that I can unilaterally make, but that's my stance. For the sake of just the health of the game and the long-term health of the game. I think it's a good thing to do. Joppa, why wasn't this added sooner? A few months ago, our group was camping Wyvern. Had been there for over 2 hours waiting for the spawn, and a group of 50s popped in and took her from us. Well, yeah, that's absolutely what I'm talking about, you know? That's the kind of stuff So we talk all the time about how, like, solo and group play, casual and hardcore, like, these, like, kind of opposite sides of the spectrum, they're actually much more symbiotic than I think people realize to one another. The one needs the other needs the other in different ways. And this is, you know, the reality is it's extremely demoralizing when something like that happens. And if you feel like the game just forever doesn't really ever have a plan or anything to say about that, and that's the kind of world you're in, like, if we're not talking on a PvP server, then, you know, anything goes there. Like, this is not it. I think it's cool to have servers. I even think if we do instate a play nice policy, I think it would be cool even to have servers that are like, hey, you know, no play nice policy here. Like, this is like full player sovereignty. Like, you know, you just, there's no rules, there's no code of conduct or anything like that. You just, whatever. Wild West servers, I think, are really cool. But I think for the long-term health of the game, having some kind of a stated policy or kind of expectation, I think would be a good thing, and I think healthy for the game. And I think first to engage, again, it's not a perfect system. And I hope it's another thing I hope was clear. We'll read it here in a second. But I hope that it was clear in the dev diary, which these are things that I remember it being clear because I did some editing on this one and spent some time in it. Different ones of us, right? So basically, Neff and I are kind of tag teaming these with a little bit of help from Fuso and some different input from others. And you know, I'll predominantly write one, he'll predominantly write one, depending on which one it is, and we'll you know, we'll edit one another and then get input from like Fuso and some of the other designers and everything, just to kind of, you know. So in the process of today's article, I'm pretty sure we spoke on all three of these things, unless my memory is becoming that bad. So yeah. But anyway, what I was going to say is there should be something in there about most damage done targets remaining in the game and being truly contested. And I think that's pretty important. So you need stuff like that. You need stuff where you can really vie, you know, toe to toe with another guild or another group or another whatever it is. For sure. As far as what we're doing here currently, are we planning on going down into the hatchery, or are we just going to stay up top? What's the plan? What are you guys thinking? Staying up top. Got it. Super Trash, thank you again for the gifted membership, my friend. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It is very scary down there. Yes. T-Chief. Yeah, I mean, I would love to find a way to get chevrons back in the game. That was a joke. Kidding. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the claim lottery. I've had that described to me a couple of times, and I don't know. There's something, at least in the traditional FTE, where there's still kind of the nature of the engagement that still feels visceral and tactile, and the lottery is just, I don't know. So the way it would work, the question, what happens to the loot if I'm the first to engage and someone else out damages me? So I'm gonna try to break this down. If you're talking about a situation that is like more of an exploitee type situation, so if the idea is what happens to the loot if I'm level 5 and I tag, or I don't know, I'm level 5 and I tag like the Rockbone Ritualist or something like that, and then a level 50 comes along and blows it up. You know, what happens to the loot? Then, you know, with the way the system works, the experience that you get for a kill will be will be affected by who does the most damage, and if that person is outside of your group, or I shouldn't say who does the most damage, but if a threshold of damage is crossed by someone who does not have kill credit, meaning not you and not someone in your group, then that is going to affect and potentially dramatically affect how much experience you are rewarded for that kill, just to specifically to protect against things like power leveling. In a loot situation, the idea is that, you know, outside of an intentional kind of like, I want to get this item, and so somebody's going to come in and help me kill it so I can loot it, you know, that kind of thing can already happen already by just having that person in your group. If you want a high level, if a high level is there to help you get an item, you can do that already in both systems. It doesn't change anything. You just group up, and the high level comes in and nukes Hisser, and you loot the rip smack, and that's how it works. In a situation where there's competition going on, the idea is that if you tag something and you can actually take on Hisser, for example, so like a level, I don't know, let's say you're like a level 15 player and you're camping Hisser, or there's like a duo, like 2 level 15 players camping Hisser, or whatever it is, and they spawn, and out of nowhere, like you tag it, but then out of nowhere, some level 50 pops up and starts casting to nuke it. The level 50 there in that situation, because they missed the tag, they're disincentivized to help you. So I don't know how many times you're going to be in a situation where, like, again, unless someone's actively there to help you get an item, and therefore they're just going to group up with you or whatever, that someone's going to take care of the kill for you just so you can have the loot. I mean, I guess it could happen, but yeah, in that case, you would just, whoever got the tag and whatnot would get the credit for the kill. Address problem D with solution Q. Well, you know, and at the end of the day, like, I just don't think there's the best solution. I think there's positives and negatives with both. But I feel like, for the most part, first to engage is a little bit more of the... I honestly, I don't think it really does much to hamper the class. I don't think it's handholdy. I disagree. I don't think it's handholdy. I really don't. I think it's... I don't know. I mean, I just think it's more common. Like, I just think it's more common. I don't really find it handholdy. Level 23. Slowed. It's okay, little child. You picked this toy first. You get to play with it as long as it takes for you to be satisfied. Well, see, if I were going to play devil's advocate, so the statement MDD is at least fun. What is fun? There are different ways to describe fun. Fun for some could be the competition. Could be the, technically you got to it first, or you hit it first, or whatever, but I'm gonna vie for it against you to try to take it. And I understand that that's fun. Like, that is fun. Like, that feeling is fun. But I would argue that what's also fun, and I would argue that what's probably more fun for most people, maybe I shouldn't say most, but what's more fun for a sizable amount of people is when they have a chance to get something, when they have a chance, to accomplish something or to loot something or to whatever. And what I do find with most damage done, even though for me, purely personally, it is the approach that I would say, most like attuned to for me personally. What I like. Wait a second. Want to sell to Joppa or anyone else bang boxes? I have 5 20 slot and 2 16 slot on hand. How much they cost? Because I do need some bang boxes. I do. My goodness. Let you live. I think I can handle those prices. You said you had 5 20 slaughters. Should I get all 5 of those? How much would that be? 5 times 75. What is that, like around 4 gold? Yeah, let you live. I'll do the 20 slaughters for 4 gold. Yeah. I'm essentially a rich nobleman now because I have 16 gold total. So I can splurge a little on bank boxes. Mr. Moneybags, pardon the jingling. Rich unk. I do have that much. Do you know why I have that much? Because what I have found in the last 2 days, so that's gold. Well, maybe it's not been 2 days. Maybe it's been like the 3 main play sessions I've had this week, which in a lot of cases is kind of like day long because I'm constantly logged in, just grinding on stuff. Like I even have it written down. Look, I made this. This is me scribbling down while I'm playing that, and this relates to what I see people paying. These are the tiers of how much people are offering for these items. So like blackberries, rat meat, snake meat, this stuff, this is around like 1 gold ish. I usually see full stacks of these, a full stack of blackberries going for like a gold. 30 blackberries, 1 gold. I sold a full stack, 30 mountain lion meats today for 3 gold. $5 gold a stack for rat meat? Okay. I know frog meat's apparently pretty awesome as well. I just got ambushed. Rat blood. Sorry, rat blood. That's what I... Frog meat and rat blood. Or is it frog blood? Are you saying frog blood? Frog meat, rat blood. Okay. Okay. Well, then there you go. I have my sights set on something new. It was fun because I was just like, I spent some time like leveling up climbing. And then just grinding on the little thicket stalkers to get some mountain lion meat. And there's all kinds of cool stuff to buy. All kinds of foods to buy, all kinds of gear. It definitely felt very like, it feels very EC Tunnelish right now in ABP, because you just see all this like crazy gear. And like, dang, I want to buy that. I want that. I'm trying not to like buy gear though. Like I want to actually experience having to go and get gear, because I want to see what it really feels like for all of us, you know, to have to like buy stuff. Or I mean, to have to like actually like go out and camp and try to find stuff and wait to get the drops you want. Yeah. Yeah, Adromenon, I agree. And that's why, you know, the item controls are actually really important for a lot of things. Like, I love twinking just as much as the next person. And we will, you know, we want to protect twinking to a good degree, but there's, when every single item is fully, completely tradable, then the amount of time people spend camping items just goes through the roof, because you want to get it for all your alts and you want to get it to sell for everything. Like the more, when some of those max tier items are no drop, then, or at the very least when they're bind on equip, or, you know, then it does alleviate some of that constant, like, I'm just gonna sit and grind this for every single character. Whoops. Sorry. What happened? What happened? I still have not put my mez on my bar. That's chat's fault. That's chat's fault. But it is true. Nope. We've got a shriek. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, the question, will mobs ever drop more coin or anything like that? I would say the answer is absolutely yes, because you don't... I mean, at this point, I think you do eventually get to the point in the game where individual NPCs drop like an actual silver or somewhere above a silver or something like that, but I don't think that comes quite early enough. So yeah, I think I would like for there to be a little more coin drop on NPCs. I think that's just a good feeling. It's a good way to create value for different NPCs, even if you're just grinding them for experience or you're not really interested in like an item drop specifically. So yeah, I know. One silver level 40 plus. Very underwhelming. Not a fan. That's something I'd like for us to clean up and improve for sure. For sure. Hey, what's up, Finn? Just wanted to pop in and say the blogs have been fantastic. Nice. Good. Yeah, we were just discussing the blog from today for a bit here. And a lot of different feelings. But I'm glad. It does seem like overall that they've been really helpful. So I'm really glad to hear that. Really glad. I can't wait till they're all out there too, because there'll be a lot of juicy things to talk about. I agree. I would like for vendors to be a little more interesting for sure. In the short term, long term, I'd like for them to be a whole heck of a lot more interesting, because we have the whole tiered merchant system to progressively unlock, more stuff. And yeah, I mean, vendors having more variety of things that are actually useful. It'd be cool to have a vendor that has like some stat food and drink on it that probably isn't as good as what a player can make, but still something. It'd be cool. Yeah, I wish it sounds like the PL stuff wasn't as strongly worded and clear in the diary that I would have liked for it to have been. Yeah, Dennis, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Glorf, that speaks to, I think traits have kind of a bad rap right now because we haven't expanded them in a while, and things like Iron Willed and Acrobatic and Resistant and others, they're very punishing. Like, they can feel very punishing. But the ultimate vision for traits is to have a lot of like actual positive traits too that NPCs can have. So you could have like an NPC with like a treasure hoarder trait, and those NPCs have like 10 times the coin on them, if they spawn. Things like that, and other like more positive traits that it's not only like negatively affecting or making things more punishing, but it's actually, oh sweet, we got one of these spawned or whatever, and that'd be cool. But also, yes, to your point about just like, what I'd like to see us do is definitely go through and do a pass on what kind of NPC is this. Does it make sense that they would have this amount of coin? And even within certain types, like your Gadai bandits, your cut purse, your picklocks, like your more roguey types having even more coin than the other ones. I think little touches like that would be cool. Yeah, super trash. If you're thinking about getting back into the game a little bit, once you have all of these dev diaries to kind of paint the picture of where things are going in the spring, and then next patch once the double XP hits, then that would be a great time to hop back in. Whiz Hard's nice, yeah. Good, I'm glad to hear you're excited, man. In what context, Finn? What are you talking about? If you're talking to me. Where did my... There we go. If I could travel into the future 1 year, at the eve of Pantheon's second year EA anniversary, what questions would you ask your future self? The main question I would ask myself is, have you done enough to make higher level items look cooler? Have you done enough? That would be my question. The double XP stuff is not something that we have announced officially yet. That's something that I've shared with you guys on stream that we were looking to see if we could do, and I verified yesterday that, in fact, it is working and is currently active on our internal servers. The plan. I'm not saying you gotta remember, guys, like I cannot be the definite source of for sure when it comes to time frames, or that there won't be like what's happened before where something will just come up and oh crap, like whatever. But yeah, the goal is to with the announcement of the wipe and kind of, some people feeling like, man, that kind of feels like it's taking the wind out of my sails a little bit. The goal is to double the XP rate to hopefully give some people some incentive to maybe keep logging in and keep pushing a little bit. Especially for people that, have kind of gotten burned out on the current experience rate, and maybe this gives them some incentive to push a character a little farther than they had already. Level 20. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo. Let's get these spells. We learned fear. Hey Flange, nice, good, glad to hear it. Are you sure there's no way a Necromancer, a top tier, top shelf Necromancer like myself, by the way, keep in mind, let's please keep that in mind, let's be realistic. Let's remember who we're talking about here. Couldn't take down Bolt. Is the hardest thing about Bolt his like shadow step? The fact that he just closes the gap like that and it's shadow steps into a really hard hit. No. He beats the crap out of you quick like. Dennis, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, kick a leak, I am. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Part of me is wondering if this is just everybody trying to make sure that there's no more competition for the battle glove. That's kind of what it's feeling like to me right now. You know? Just saying. So what you're saying is Bolt would tear through Veckin in a single round of combat. Like Veckin would just go from 100 to 0. How bad is the diminishing returns on Fear? No, Ginjon, I think the saying is what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, and then there's Bolt. I think that's the complete colloquialism. My manifestation skill is low. Yeah. 17. Chuck Norris respects Bolt. Bolt will always not kill you. Hey, one sec. All right. So what's up? Loving the plans for early next year. You guys are really cooking. Random streaming question. Why do you play with the dev UI on? It totally negates needing to con targets and really changes your playing experience compared to ours. I'm guessing there's a good reason, but I have never heard you explain. The reason is because I can't turn it off. It's not something that's set up in the way. It's like purely a permissions-based thing. So if your account is a dev flagged account, then it's just on. There's no way to turn it off, on or off, or else I would. I absolutely would. But that being said, we have been discussing the potential of during EA, this is not saying anything about post-launch or anything, but during EA, extending this fight recap to you guys, and then as far as like level and con color and stuff next to the name, that's we'll see, because we used to have it that way for everybody, and then players are like, well, why even have a consideration system and like the need to consider something if it's just all right there and it's kind of a big thing. And it's almost like people have different opinions on what they would like. As crazy as that is to say, I'm just glad that there's only a very few things that people feel strongly about in one way or another. If more people had generally larger differences of opinions on more things, it would be really tough. I think I could take that bet, Glorf. I think I could take that bet. Does it have to be at level 20? Do I have to be able to do it at level 20? Or can I perhaps do it once I hit level 22, where we're the same level? I'm pretty sure your answer is going to be, I don't even care if you're level 30. We'll see. I mean, I think we could probably make that happen. Hey, Joppa, have you thought more about understanding combat for the player and how to convey it better? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like... Those things are constantly running through my head while I'm playing. Oh, yeah. I think a really big part of it is... honestly, I think our nameplates get in the way a ton. I think the nameplates, low-key, are... Well, high-key are probably, like, one of the biggest contributors. I mean, if you just look at my screen right now, like... all of the different nameplates that are visible, one of the things that we're wanting to do is make it to where... And if you want to see all the nameplates all the time, that's fine, but baseline being where your target is the nameplate that you can see, and the ability to turn off player nameplates, and focus only what you have targeted. I mean, you can imagine, like, if the only thing you're seeing is the nameplate of your target, offensive and defensive target or whatever, how much less clutter there would be. Like, even if I just go in here and slide nameplate distance down where you don't see any nameplates, like, look at that. Like, obviously, with the whole UI hidden, but even just having nameplates hidden, the amount of clarity, if you imagine seeing this spider's nameplate right now, but even that, it's like, like, I've got it right there. What's funny is I could probably even unlock this, slide this like right here, and then now whenever I'm like fighting and have something kind of targeted on my screen, it's like, oh, here's the only thing that I need to care about. It's the only nameplate that I care about right now is this. So now it's like, okay, here's all my information. That helps. But then you have the problem of like, okay, all the floating combat text is floating up behind it and interacting with it. But that change right there is a big, I think, a big help. That's going to be a big improvement. Might even just kind of like slide it over to the side. The other thing we've talked about is we need to significantly reduce the amount of information that's being presented in the group window, like to the degree that, you know, it could be argued that all you really need to see in the group window is health, and doubling, if not tripling, the size of the health bars in the group window so you can just much more easily see the health of your group members. It's a little, I mean, yeah, it's not great, but just kind of. Yeah. Being able to see debuffs too. But even the debuffs, it's like they're so small you can barely see them. So we're working through like how we can get a lot of that cleaned up. We've got Scott Potter, one of our designers. He's got a lot of experience in UI design, UX, things like that. So we're sicking him on that problem. And then we've talked about, you know, everything from the audio layer, you know, the fact that I would like for my characters' events to be more prominent in the audio mix. So my hits, my misses, having audio for misses, having, you know, some better synced animations for things like misses, having more punchy, like critical hit text, and being able to reposition where floating combat text happens. All these things are going to go, I think, a long way. Yeah. Go ahead and get slow on both of these guys. I mean, I guess if we put this over here and we actually drag the... I mean, like, this just looks ridiculous, though. It's just... And granted, I don't really need to see my group frames as much. I can't accept that right now. Any thought on a way to target party members and group members more quickly than the bar on the left? Well, you got this option. Have you ever thought about making consider a skill that when skilled up could give you more info without having to use consider. Like maybe at first greens have a colored name, then light blues, then whites, and high levels could give level indicator, your WIS or something like that. I mean, that's a cool idea. I'm always a fan of like when you can introduce like incremental progression into things like that. I'm a fan of numbers go up, you know. I enjoy that feeling. Yeah, I mean that's probably worth some thought. I don't there's no plans to do it that way right now. But in some of the things that we're considering with our skill play, you know, it's probably worth a mention, but the problem with it is that there's a lot more information that needs to be conveyed in through consideration. So like when I consider something, I'm getting faction information, I'm getting like, do they like me? Do they not? You know, we've got whether something's tameable or not coming, you know, through the consideration. So there's actually a lot of conveyance that's happening and considering that wouldn't be accounted for by simplifying it that much. Hey guys, I need a bio break. Are we at a good point where we can maybe after the next poll or something? Nope. Oh, it's a good time? Okay, cool. I'm going to take a quick bio. I will be back in just a second. All right, let's keep rolling. Marino, you can turn off nameplates in your settings. If you go to graphics, there's a slider for nameplate distance. Just slide it all the way down. Mr. Steel Rose. 10 stream streak. Nice. Very cool, man. Do you get a free mount now? No. No. I'm not sure Pantheon's the appropriate game for drops and stuff. I don't know. Maybe. Like streamer drops. Voice line for bosses? I do agree it'd be very cool, but we're gonna have a lot of bosses. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic it would be. Yeah, I do agree, T-Chief. As we develop out the Keeper stuff further, the consider messaging and just kind of that mechanic, you do some really cool stuff with that. Even if it is just flavor, like, you know, I mean, literally, even if it's just flavor, like, something interesting, some interesting detail about the target that, like a dungeon master kind of filling you in on some things you can notice about it that don't necessarily reflect anything related to combat or strength or weakness or anything like that, but just flavor would be cool too. So I want to kind of pay attention to what my dots are doing. I want to know what my like is my strongest dot Wither now that I just got this one. Plus it's scaling with stamina, so stamina's pretty decent. Need to get my intellect up. So let's look. Wither, 15 on land. That was a crit. Crit. 15. Okay, 15 damage. $15 a tick. And then we've got Life Leech. Let's just put them all in there and check them. Life Leech is 12 attack, Heat Blood's 18. And then okay, yeah. So Wither is definitely the strongest one. Yeah, yeah. Spectre, it is, it is dev only. But I did mention that we're talking about potentially during EA. That could be something that we enable. We'll see. Alright, so we'll do slow, wither, 3 dot. I'm curious what this gets us damage-wise. Like in the breakdown. Let's actually... So I'll have us see the breakdown a little better. 161 damage. Well, plus 87, so... Like, we're at like 250 damage for minimal input. But if we put on our Veil of Undeath, we put on our mana regen. So now we're going to slow. Wither. Life Leech. Eat Blood. 3 dot. Set. $150. All right. This time, we'll do slow, wither, 3 dot, life tap, sit. Slow, wither, 3 dot, life tap, sit. Under 91. Okay. Now I'm at full mana here, which means I need to do a little more before I sit. So this time we're going to do that same approach. But we're going to do 2 life taps. And then we're going to set. Ow. I'm just letting this thing backstab the snot out of me. That's great. Slow. Wither. 3 dot. Life tap. Life tap. Gonna root this guy. He resisted it. Okay, there we go. It's probably not a good situation to do these tests, so I'm just gonna... Slow. Wither. 3 dot. Life tap. Well, do we have a wizard in the group? Yes, we do. Now, see, isn't that cool? Isn't it cool when you see something like that, and you're like, holy crap. And then it's like, oh yeah, a wizard. A wizard's capable of chunking that much damage at once. Or that much health at once. That's cool. Okay. That's true. Orphan versus Mad. Got an orphan, 2 orphans, so we're gonna do slow, wither, free dot, life tap, refresh, free dot, set. See what this does. $411. Not bad. I mean, you know. Life tap only, let's try that. Here we go. Life tap burn. $402. Only $402. Why would that be less? Well, but in the fight just previous to this one, wait, what? Oh, it's gone. But I did over 400 damage the fight previous to this one without using, you know. Here we go. Slow. Wither. Free dot. 2 life taps. Free dot. Sit. Oh, this is a Nightingale. Or a Mad. Just pile them all on there. Refresh the free one. Sit. Sit again. We're dying. It's time to me to take on my ascended form. Where's the other one? There's another one, right? Oh. I'm glad I was here. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. That was some pretty good damage, that fight. Oh, that's pretty good. You think they're coming for us? Oh my Christmas morning. That is terrifying. I'm kind of afraid to move. I feel like I'm paralyzed. Do we just take the kill? I think we just take the death. I think we have to just eat the death. We just have to eat the death. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, technically we have to develop the game to the point where there's no reason in my mind that those spiders couldn't have jumped to where we were. That's what they should have done. If you're in a position where an NPC cannot get to you, it should either lerp to your position or it should reset. The fact that it just sits there and like whatever, then that's not what it should be doing. Yeah, it should warp. Yeah, but not everything can do that, right? Like, it works for spiders, but a bear can't, shoot webs at you or hit you with projectiles. And yeah, most bears can climb, but not like sheer rocks. Oh, there's my body. I think it's a pretty reasonable excuse. I think there's enough distinction there. Ninja bears. I'm gonna run right into that problem again if I don't pay attention here. Don't get me wrong, I would love for our spiders to climb on walls and ceilings and all that kind of stuff. For sure. If we can pull that off. Maybe we can pull that off. Let's see. That was intense, though. Hey, what's up, that 90? That 90s kid? Good to see you. Good to see you. You as well, Wolfgar. Welcome in. Ovidius. For Spring Wipe, will you give us time to reserve names for new tunes, or will that be more of a full release deal? That's definitely more of a full release thing, yeah. All right, I'm gonna start summoning corpses. I'm gonna summon down here off the rock. Yeah. I tried to stagger them a little bit, make it a little easier to, you know. It's the least I could do. I know. Yeah. Hopefully I can get both of these rezzed back to back. %, res. Ooh. Okay, there's that one. And then got one more. Hypnotic needs a summon. Okay. Alrighty. Getting ourselves some bank boxes, which is sick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you, Let You Live. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I bought those with the 4 gold I made this morning from farming mountain lion meat. And blackberries. That's what it was. Looks like the group might be breaking up. Yeah, I'll take 4 of those 10 slot bags, actually. Yes, I will. I'm going to take this opportunity to... Wait, is the group... Oh, did we just lose one? Okay, got it. I'm actually, I think, well, nah, I don't need to. Are these heavy? They are very heavy. Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Just go. Do one at a time here. Guys, we were taking some major steps forward here. Hope you realize that. These are big deal moments right here. For now, let's just do this. And this, and then that. Okay. Sick. Three. Four. That's gonna be a pain. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. What's up, Chris Rosen? Oh, hey, Super Trash, you're all good. You are all good, my friend. I think I'm okay on weight. Starting bag weighs a lot more than the player crafted bag. Oh wow, yes it does. Goodness. Yeah. Total number of bag slots, you individual. Yeah, I do like the one bag thing. Where it all just kind of combines together. The issue with that is just... Or the potential issue with that is that, you know, there is a really nice, like, bag progression with, like, weight reduction bags and even bags that can hold certain types of items. You know, certain sized items and things like that. Jared, need a ranger? I don't know. I don't know if we need a ranger. This costs me 10 silver. So I'm going to pay you 10 silver. No. 10 silver. All right. Boom. It is done. It is done. Yo, what's up, AK? 10 stream streak. My man. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah. A key ring is an eventual thing for sure. Yeah, we're back at it again today. Was kind of a was a possibility that ended up being a nice reality. I haven't gotten Bolt yet. Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, people think that it might be too hard. You know. What do we still need for the group? Are we waiting on anybody? Okay. Jared, I think we're full, my friend. I think, unless you're in here. You loving the Necromancer? Yeah, me too. What do we get next level? What do we get? Curse, so we get an upgrade to our curse line, which is nice. Gather shadows. Gather shadows. Yes. Yes. Whew, that's exciting. Okay. Some flying spiders, Glorf. Glorf. What we need are some like burrowing beetles. Some burrowing beetles that grab your feet and pull you underground. Yep, Kakashi style, that's right. Oh yeah. Giant sandworms like Dune Awakening style? We need to get our pet back out. Yay, another level 20 pet. Visser. Visser. Oh, I forgot my trait. I can do my trait now, too. Sick. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the strength? Slow. Wither. Free dot. Life tap. Life tap. Free dot. Refresh. Sit. Fly. Sit. Sit down in the middle of the carnage. Like a true necromancer. Totally unfazed. Look at my guy. He's just like, whatever. You know? $407 damage. Okay. Okay. Why the variable level on the skeleton? What purpose does that serve other than burning valuable bone chips? Well, would you think of them as valuable if you didn't burn through them? You know? Alright, we're going straight. We are going straight life tap nuking on the orphan spiders. If that seems to be what you guys think is the right call. And now granted I didn't get a good jump on that one, so we're not gonna count that one. No. Arrows are different. Arrows are different. Arrows are different. Can the Necropet pet tank it all? I mean, they can tank in a solo environment. But they're not going to be used in like a group environment. But yeah, my pet tanks I don't feel like I always need it to tank. But where it does come in handy actually is if I get like multiple pulls, or like if I pull multiple mobs. Then I can usually, at least with 2, I can put the Necro on 1, the pet on 1, and then deal with the other one. And it does pretty well in that case. They're pretty hardy. I mean, they're okay. My pet has 472 health right now compared to my 397, and I think we're both equally buffed. So, yeah, except actually my pet doesn't have my shielding, so that's got a pretty decent amount of health. Not at the moment. $462. I mean, 462 is, you know. We can take that. They do. The pets do not scale well. The Necro pets do not scale well at all. At all. That's something that needs to be addressed for sure. Yeah, the kill time's higher for sure. Weaving in my free dot, I actually got up to 500 on that fight. But the problem is, with life tap spam, I'm gonna run out of mana. Ooh, some nice crits in there. You will be able to siphon and give the siphon stat to your defensive target eventually once we have support for that. It's actually a little tricky with our the way our targeting system is set up, but we will get it working that way eventually. So yeah, and that's part of the Necromancer kind of stepping a little bit more into their support role. That'll be a really nice support utility for the class to be able to come into a group and like give this class intellect, this class stamina, that kind of thing would be cool. Wait, AK, okay, wait. You cast Steal Stamina on a mob, got the buff, and then on the next mob you tried to Steal Stamina again and the buff went away? I'm not sure what that means. Unless there's an issue with, like, stacking and overriding. What it should do is AK is just refresh it. Which, by the way, I need to... Yeah, you can only do one at a time. If you try to steal... If you steal stamina and then you try to steal intellect on top of that, it'll overwrite your stamina one. But you can only have one at a time. Hey Joppa, why not offer druid circles or wizard teleporters in dungeons? It's what you guys are proposing. I don't think we're gonna do like on the whole. There could be like a very specific dungeon or a very specific place like that where we, you know, something like Khazak Thul had like the wizard spires in it, right? Or little wizard pyramid, which was cool. So I'm not saying we won't do things like that, but on the whole, we're not going to be doing that often. Hold on one sec. Do you mean like a dungeon evac? Oh, Flange, I understand now. Why not offer druid portals and wizard portals in dungeons instead of the teleport stones? Now I understand. The reason is this. In a lot of our decision making, we are, and we talked about this multiple times, you know, well back when Brad was still alive. And I remember on multiple occasions alongside him, whether in an interview or during a stream or whatever, talking about this, that it was really important to him, it's really important to me, really important to us that we were developing a game that captured the classic spirit of MMORPGs and also was able to be played and enjoyed in a kind of a core time frame amount of time, because you know a lot of people that cut their teeth on EQ, and you know EQ was their first major MMO experience, and they love MMOs, but they're older, they're in different stages of life, they don't have, you know, the insane amounts of time that a lot of us used to have to just totally know life and devote to these games. And so the idea is like, let's create a core 2 to 3 hour time frame where a player can feel like they can, you know, get in and get something done, you know, get into a group, and actually accomplish something. And so, Oh, I see. Okay. You're in concealment gear for your invis, right? Yeah. Anyway, so when it comes to things like, you know, why not call the hero, or why not, you know, give wizards or druids, you know, portals that move players through dungeons and things like that? It's because part of trying to have an approach that allows everyone to enjoy that kind of core time frame. Of course, you can play a ton longer than that. I mean, you can no life the game if you want, but if you've only got, a couple of hours to play, then doing it that way puts the burden on there being a specific class or a couple of specific classes that need to be available to take advantage or to accomplish that goal of that time frame. And what you find is that when you get into situations where there's not a summoner on, or there's not a druid on, or a wizard on, then it's like, well, what do you do? So our proposal is, having a couple of these very strategically and thoughtfully placed locations where, as you progress through a dungeon, part of what you're wanting to accomplish when you go to a dungeon and move through a dungeon is you want to be able to be present and actually touch where these stones are so that you can unlock them for yourself, progress that for your character so that you can use those to traverse the dungeon, as part of your progression. But it's important to understand that in many cases, when you're talking about a travel stone that's deeper inside of a dungeon, it's going to involve more than just, touching it. Like, there's going to have to be, in many cases, a prerequisite. So I've used the example with Nashra, like, there may be a travel stone down there somewhere in the vicinity of Nashra, but to actually unlock it, you will have had to have killed Nashra. You will have had to have slain Nashra and looted for yourself the item that's necessary to kind of unlock that stone, which again just ties back into that sense of progression for the character. But that way, you're not necessarily, you still have, if a group's going to summon you down to a spot, you have to have done that before, and that could be, if you haven't done that yet, then you can't interact with it. But that's also kind of part of it as well, that it's not meant to just be. The problem with Call of the Hero is that you literally could bring a player anywhere with no prerequisite of them. Like, yeah, it was great for the magician to get to that level and kind of unlock that ability. Absolutely. But outside of that one player's experience, there is no prerequisite for anybody else. You could be brought anywhere inside of a dungeon. You could literally be brought right to the foot of a boss, in many cases. So it's like, I think our solution, our kind of system proposition ultimately is actually more integrous of like keeping traversal through a dungeon intact, because you're not able to truly fully skip content like you can with Call of the Hero. You still, even if you get summoned to deeper into a travel stone, you still have to do some movement to get to where you're going. Yeah, I can exactly. Hey, Maxim, welcome. I don't know actually if we're going to have travel stones or like meeting stones at the entrance of dungeons, because I do still like the idea of players. I mean, we will have teleportation spells, cross-continental and obviously intercontinental, and so you'll be able to be helped into the general vicinity of where a dungeon might be. But then, with the mounts and eventually with like gliding and climbing and swimming and all these, we have all of these travel systems with all of this built-in progression in them and buffs and items that help with it. That it's like, I think if we did summoning 2 dungeons, I think that would be maybe a step too far. So, yeah. And that's the other thing, too. The travel stones inside of a dungeon would only work if you were inside the dungeon. So you'd have to be, you'd have to actually be standing there inside the dungeon at the entrance to be able to be brought down deeper, as opposed to just being plucked from anywhere in the world. Yeah, Tavi. Yeah, that's been the plan from the beginning. That the wandering stones for the druid and the gateways for the wizards, there would be some kind of baseline that you can learn, but then others where you would have to actually travel to that location, and in some cases travel to the location where there may be kind of a vendor there or nearby where you could buy the spell to that location, and then others that are like ancient locations that you actually just have to find like the spell for. It's like a drop off something or a quest reward or something like that. Lucian, yeah, the travel stones would work both ways. So you would be able to, but it's only a one-way thing. So it's like, meaning I can, from the entrance stone, I would be able to take that down to, location B. But from location B, I can only go back to the entrance stone. I can't go from like location B to location A and then location A to location C or anything like that. It's like you have to. It's a one-way trip. Earlier this year, you started a thread about iconic abilities. Never felt you fall through with it, and we never mentioned iconic abilities much since. Is there a reason why? We do talk about iconic abilities. I think it was just yesterday or the stream before that where we were talking about. Somebody mentioned like the idea of a self-res for the Necromancer, and I was like, that's a perfect example of one of those iconic kind of epic abilities that you would have to like. Do an epic kind of quest for to unlock. And so when you see a Necromancer that's able to like self-res, that has something like that, it's a cool kind of prestige thing where, you've had to really work hard to get that ability. So yeah, they're definitely, the concept of iconic abilities and epic abilities, things like that is absolutely still healthy, alive. And some of them are in, because they're not even all, some iconic abilities are not like crazy epic style abilities anyway. They're just really iconic. They're just really kind of class defining. Yeah. Great question. Question for you guys in group. When I do need to leave, are you guys... Dude, Raydil, that sick axe, my friend. Woo! Looking good. That's awesome. When I do need to leave, are you guys going to keep going? Like, is this an actual like XP group that's locked in? What do you mean, Seabarks? Is this us? Okay. I feel like the first to engage idea would have come way earlier than early access. I mean, well, here's the thing. It's been a while since a classically spirited MMO has been developed. Now there are a handful now that are in development. You've got Pantheon, you've got Monsters and Memories, you've got Adrenaline Online, you've got, there's several now. But one of the things that we've navigated consistently from the beginning is how do you take a classically spirited, or how do you bring the classic MMOs into the modern age? And things like not doing instancing, things like having a death penalty, things like kill credit, these things are hallmarks of classic MMORPGs where we're kind of still, even with more of them being in development, you're kind of still, we're still experimenting. And one of the interesting things about EA is that we had quite a lot of people pick up the game, and we had a whole heck of a lot of people playing Pantheon from all different backgrounds, all different types. And there are things that we observed, and this is also keeping in mind the fact that we've kind of always said that the most damage done versus first to engage is something that when we get more critical mass, we want to really experiment with both and see what the outcomes are. So I think people look at how long we've been in development and say, like, you guys have had plenty of time to make these decisions. And yeah, like, I mean, how long does it take to make a decision, right? Like, you sit down in a room and say, we're going to do it this way. Boom. Decision made. That doesn't take a lot of time. The key is, like, how long in development does it take for you to get your game to a point where you can finalize decisions, or you can have the criteria necessary to thoroughly make a decision? And a lot of that is done behind the scenes for games that don't develop openly, that you don't hear about until they're 6 months out or whatever. But for us, like, it's not been the case. So I will always understand the question, like, because it's been a while. So it's like, these things are being announced like they're a big deal. And on one hand, you're like, okay, so. But I think the point of these announcements, because I've seen some people say, like, it seems like, some of these diaries that come out, like, they're not like these huge, massive deals. They're kind of clarifications, or they're decision points. But really, the way I would want you guys to look at these is in the sum of their parts. That you would, when the last one comes out, that you'd be able to look at the whole picture and see, like, okay, here's what they're doing. And that's the other, I guess that's maybe one of the most important things to keep in mind, is like, this is it. This is our shape. Will there be minor tweaks? Yes, of course. But what we release in the spring is our shape. This is our game. Your game. Like, this is what it is. And it is taking years of feedback, years of, iteration, and ultimately, clarifying and re-clarifying and crystallizing what our ultimate vision is and kind of game feel that we want. And This is it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I tell people that a lot, and you can see even from like the non-official Reddit, right? Yeah, no, they are a big announcement. I'm just saying I've seen people saying like I've seen people saying that they're not, but I've even seen on the non-official Reddit, like with a lot of these diaries coming out, people are like, this is actually really positive. And I try to remind people of that often, like, yes, the Reddit can be a cesspool. Yes, it can be really harsh. But, and I've used the example of like Fires of Heaven and Rerolled to say, you know, on the surface you would look at that and say like, you know, there's no love for Pantheon here. Like these are nothing but haters. And the reality is like the majority of people, even the people that throw shade constantly and take major hits, they really want Pantheon to succeed. Like it's a combination of frustration and like, you know, legitimate criticisms and whatnot, but it's anyway. Yeah. Do you think that's the major reason why PvP buckled, is because of lack of safe zones? That's the first time I've heard that. Maybe it's been stated and I just missed it, but that's the first time I've heard that. That's awesome to hear, Chiquito. I don't know, man. I disagree. I disagree to an extent. I think I've never experienced anything like Sullen Zeke on EQ. That felt really special, largely because it was such a PvE forward experiment, because EQ is so PvE oriented. So there was something really special there. That's kind of what I was hoping our baseline PvP servers would just be these like Sullen Zeke like experiments and experiences. But this is why I keep saying I really believe the future of PvP and PvE MMOs is a survival extraction type experience. I really believe that, because it puts some structure around it. And I think it shouldn't be session based. I think it should be always on, meaning like you would have egress points at various places where you could egress to save things and stash things and whatnot, but it wouldn't be a session based. It would be a persistent world, but you know, it would be, yeah. Yeah. But that's a down the road thing. I know that ruffles feathers, but it's a down the road thing. So yeah, did you guys answer my question on whether, like, if I had to head out, like, if this group, like, can I look for a replacement? You guys want to keep grinding? I'm out of mana. Elite noob, yeah. It's a dev account permission to be able to see the levels like that. No, Silver Server, no. I mean, did I hear that it was not something that people didn't like? Yes, but I've never heard it put as if that was the primary thing that kind of killed it. I did want to get safe zones done before we launched it, but we ended up running out of time. I bet you do, Nizdal. As a wizard, I bet you do. PvP 100% buckles without safe zones? Yeah. We're looking at it, Jared. Yeah, we're looking at it as a possibility. Lucian, yes. I did clarify that earlier. That yes, part of the under the hood stuff is protection against that, where there you would not be able to have a level 1 tag something and then somebody that doesn't have kill credit who's not in the group do the majority of the damage and the level 1 eat all the experience. Yeah. Okay. I probably need to start wrapping up, guys. Is there anyone that wants to come take my place so this group can keep rolling? I hate to leave because the experience is ridiculous, but I am flirting with some wife aggro. Yeah, Maxim, you bet. Excited to see you streaming it again. Yeah, that's right. My wife's about to go into PvP mode. So basically, like a DPS, is there... Jared, did you still want to bring your ranger by? Yeah, bring whichever one you want. Ranger or rogue would be perfect. Might be easier to get here as a rogue, but it's whatevs. Whatevs. Oh, yeah. I like this little camp right here. It's cool. But bring whatever you want. It is up to you. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a GM command for my wife. That was not coded into the marriage. But the good news is my wife is amazing, and my wife is, we're it is a mutual respect and honor situation to want to not generate aggro. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, we got a 23 rogue coming to rep me. Oh, man. Fluffy Wuffy, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we will never, ever... That's not in the cards for Pantheon. PvP servers. Potentially a... kind of some special PvP modes that you can... access from a PvP or a PvE server. You know, kind of like instant session-based things might be a thing at some point down the road. Maybe. That would be more like the survival extraction thing I'm talking about, not like battlegrounds or anything like that. But yeah, the rivers shall never cross, and now we will have duels, and I would love for there to be like the same tech that we would need to create safe zones, where like you walk into a volume and it turns PvP off and you're safe, is the exact same tech we would need to create like arenas where in a PvE environment you walk into and you're flagged for PvP. So whichever one comes first will enable the other one. Imminence is imminently becoming imminent. Imminence. Soonly. Somebody just looted some shimmering celestium. Indeed. Oh, what? Ah. This seems very... In real life, I would never do this. This seems very dangerous. To run over and start carving open a spider right here. Does it not? Are we going inside? Oh, I see. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Up. This place is scary, guys. Alright, let's see what I can do DPS-wise right here. Here we go. This is the all-out DPS. All-out DPS. Dots cranking. Life taps humming. Boom. Okay. Alright. Forgot to tag you my question. But I'd be interested to know what you're most looking forward to as a player or as a director. I mean, it's hard to answer the question of like what I'm most looking forward to. Like from the perspective of a director. Oh. Because I feel like it flows. Like for example, right now the thing I'm probably most excited about, honestly, is mounts, because that's about to happen. But on a broader spectrum, I'm most excited about the spring, because there is an insanely massive amount of updates coming in the spring. Body of Dakar is coming in the spring. The introduction of, you know, this first kind of like underwater experience. That's massive. But then I'm also excited about what's coming and later next year and in the middle of next year. And like, so there's just this like natural flow of like things that I'm excited about. As a player, I would have to say I'm most excited about the spring and what's coming in the spring, because those changes are just going to be so good. So good. The rogue's here? Where's the rogue? Yeah. There he is. Okay. All right, I'm going to drop group, guys. Oops. And, oh, I was the group leader. Good. 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 That's... Yeah, Finn, I was I was about to say something like that and then got sidetracked. But yeah, like as a necromancer, with what I know is coming for them for some of their added support and different CC options, like I'm perfectly fine even like playing and loving the Necromancer right now. I know what I'm capable of solo or in a small, a duo or a trio. I also understand that in a full group, my role is not to be at the top of the DPS charts because I'm not primarily a DPS class. I'm a class with a broader kit than that isn't fully focused on DPS. So, doing half the damage of two very well geared DPS classes is definitely not like a crazy, like something's crazy off. So, oh yeah, my bank boxes. Hey, Maxim, thank you so much for the tier 1 in the 3 months. Thank you, appreciate that. Is Necro my favorite so far? Probably, yeah. It probably is, but it's so much of that is because like Necromancer is one of my most played favorite classes of all time. So yeah. Let me just drop these bad boys right here. I'm not going to go super deep on this just yet, but I just want to get them in here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to right click these and it's going to be like, oh. Yeah. Yep. That's amazing. That is amazing. Hey, what's up, Fitfire? What was my favorite race? Oh, Dark Elf. Yeah. Yeah, Radial. Yeah, they definitely need some more of that group, like what am I doing in a group, Now the slow's important. The slow brings a lot, but then yeah, outside of the slow, being able to be a little more supporty would be cool. And that's where, with a lot of the changes that are coming up, things like sustain, becoming much more important. Now Necros being able to feed health, feed mana, things like that is going to become more important. Necros being able to siphon and transfer attributes, that's going to be really cool. So, Oh my goodness, guys. The storage is insane. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of little boxes. It's a lot of little squares. Okay. I cannot do this right now because I'm going to get lost in this and I'm going to, yeah, we're going to, it's going to be a problem. So let's wait. We're level 20. We're level 20. Well, you don't have to be support. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to be. But just like Necromancers in EQ, for example, like they didn't, a lot of them didn't want to be mana batteries, but they had the ability to do that. And often that's when they needed to group or chose to group, that's what gave them a little kind of niche to do that in. But the Necro, the way the Necro is right now in Pantheon and the way it will continue to shape up is that a Necro is perfectly capable of going on their own, being as selfish as they want to be. But it's cool that they have these kind of like little things about them, you know, where they can turn the tables, be a little, you know, bring a little support to the table from time to time. Plus CC, which the CC part is cool, and I think the CC part for the Necro is just a really cool aspect of the class. Fitfire, TBD on that. Guys, we're level 20 on the Necro. We're handsomely into level 20, you know, almost halfway. We've got Fear. I'm excited to try that out soon, see what we can accomplish with that. I've got to be, like, allied with... Yeah, wow. Nice. I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to go eat some chili. Like, what better thing to go eat than chili, right? Oh, my goodness. And then, yeah, and then we're back to get some work done tonight. Tomorrow, we've got our experience, leveling and experience Dev Diary coming out, so that'll be a really good one. I'm sure that'll be, I'm sure that's one that a lot of people are looking forward to. Some good discussion there. No, I'm not leaving to play Ashes. No. No, like I said, I am dangerously fixated on Pantheon right now, so that is where all of my progressional progress is going to be being invested. But yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. You know, if I do stream tomorrow, it'll probably be like today, where it won't be a super big heads up. So it'll just happen if it happens. So we'll see. But if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Monday. And until then, my friends, thank you so much for the subs, the follows, hanging, talking, and being awesome. I will see you guys very, very soon. Adios.